A related application of the values that I take to characterize a free society is this. We should not criminalize mere bad character, only bad actions. In other words, only culpability or disrespect that's manifested in conduct. So the rationale for this principle is very similar to that of the principle we just talked about, no thought crimes. A free society can and should tolerate that we're not all perfectly virtuous. We can live with the fact that people are not all saints, but we're all somewhat selfish, somewhat imperfect. We don't have to all be perfectly committed to promoting the well-being of others. We can seek our own benefit within limits. We can all be a little bit bad, a little bit unlikable, a little bit of a jerk, a little bit alienated from society. We can all have a little bit of a distasteful or unvirtuous character, as long as it doesn't become so serious that it spills over into behavior that's harmful or dangerous or unduly risky, or so seriously disrespectful of others that it's a matter of public concern. So one reason for this idea, again, is that we need a private space in which to deliberate, to weigh the pros and cons of different courses of conduct, to experiment through a bit of trial and error, to learn and become better people, and ultimately to understand for ourselves the real reasons why we should be better. So for moral education, to become a better person, you need some leeway to try things out so you can see for yourself why it's worth it to be better. If someone forces you to behave in ways that mean you never get to make any mistakes, right? The question is, how can you fully learn what's right and wrong so that you actually can be good? So we don't punish for bad character or for being what society might deem to have an undesirable character trait or personality trait, or having some status that society doesn't like. A classic legal example is the old crime of vagrancy, for example. It used to be a crime to be a quote unquote vagrant, someone passing through town without a place to live of your own. That was rightly rejected in the US as too unclear to be a proper criminal law. And so essentially just a pretext for criminalizing people with what society saw as an undesirable status or character. So instead of punishing for bad character, the criminal law in a free society must only punish for specific actions, for this or that bit of bad behavior. We don't punish the whole person as such. We don't label the whole person as such, bad or evil, just the action. This goes back to the simple idea that we learn in primary school that we shouldn't criticize the whole person, deeming someone to be wholly bad or evil, but we can and indeed should criticize particular bad actions. So we see this in the criminal law in that you're convicted for committing a specific crime that meets the legal definition of a specific offense. We don't, and we must not in a free society, punish for being this or that type of person or for belonging to this or that sort of group. This would place too much of a restriction on individual freedom, the freedom to decide for ourselves how to live within appropriate limits, and the freedom to learn through trial and error how to become better people.